What is up, Whale family? This is Nightmare bringing you Hang Time, where we talk NBA Top Shot, the market, fantasy basketball, and all things hoops and hype. Hope everyone is doing well and recovered after a crazy week in crypto, as well as a crazy week with the NBA playoffs. I'm in rare form today after a little mini Nightmare's birthday party, which included a bouncy house and being under relatively strict quarantine rules here in this household. That means just me for 2 days straight. And these knees and these ACLs and everything else are definitely feeling it today. So that's what I get for taking about a year off of the actual gym and just doing exercises with rubber bands in my basement. Definitely feeling the hurt. A lot of work to do before I could get out there on the court myself personally, that's for sure. But coming to the NBA, we had our first weekend of playoff games, and wow, what an awesome weekend of games, really. Buzzer beaters, John Morant was showing out with the Grizz, Luca embarrassing some Clippers, just straight up disrespecting them. The Bucks versus the Heat was a great game. If you didn't catch it, definitely catch some of the highlights of the ending of that game, and the overtime was very cool. And the Nets actually smoked the Celtics. Unfortunately, shorthanded, but still the C's kind of played embarrassing as far as efforts on the board and in the second half there. But Kevin Durant needs to get himself under control with those elbows going at Tatum. He's getting a little too froggy for my liking. So that being said, the Knicks actually suffered a playoff loss to the Hawks, and I actually only knew about it because I saw all my friends that are from New York on my Facebook feed talking about Trae Young's hair. So I was sure there was something going on there that they were upset about. But to make myself feel better about the C's playoff loss, we'll take a look here at the Time Lord with one of his 9 blocks. Super impressive defensive performance by the big guy. That's probably one of the few things we can say about that game. If Marcus Smart catches another rebound and chucks up a crazy looking three, I may just whip my remote control against the screen and have to get a new TV. So a little bit maddening, but that's why it's a series and there's more than one game. So on to NBA Top Shot. Let's take a look at the market itself and talk about what was going on. We thought we had some relief actually on May 22nd with some of the promotions and things going on with Top Shot. We had a significant uptick in transactions, and we'll talk a little bit about what really drove that. But with that came some total market dollars that were floating around as far as transaction sizes and things of that nature. And really, it was driven by a lot of promotion trying to get more people to be active that Top Shot was doing. But I know even on our Discord, DC, and a couple of other people were making mention that they saw their particular portfolio having significant escalations in value. I personally did not see that in mine. I assume a lot of you did not as well. But you can see right after, really the dramatic increase had occurred on the 22nd. Transactions fell back downward to closer to where they were prior, although still showing some incrementality, right? Still elevated here versus the prior weeks, but the total market dollars and transaction size is way down back to where it was at these levels here where we were concerned. So the total dollars in the market continue to be an issue. And we'll see what will happen with these new entrants that NBA Top Shot is trying to bring into the market. But with regards to the whale vault, we always like to take a look at the valuation. You can see right now it's probably the lowest valuation we've seen on Moment Ranks for some time. But this is coinciding with an absolute unprecedented bloodbath in the total crypto market as a whole. So I'm sure there's a trickle down effect as it relates to NFTs and to NBA Top Shot in general. As we know, there's a lot of cross-pollination there between the different people. So as this fan base continues to grow and this product becomes more available to people that are outside of that sphere, which is what Top Shot's trying to do now with some of their marketing push and what they aim to do once they get out of beta, I think that will soften I guess the level of impact that the greater crypto market will likely have. Obviously, there'll always be an impact, probably in all investments as a whole, right? But as far as the dramatic impact, I think it'll continue to soften as we see more entrants that come into this just from regular NBA fandom and collectible fandom. So 41,000, I would expect now as the numbers are continuing to climb in the greater crypto market, we'll see this return to that 45 to $50 million range. Did I say thousand? That's $41 million. But even in just the last 24 hours, like the greater market, there's been an increase as well. Taking a look at the numbers a little bit further here, you can see that, although a lot of the metrics are poor with regards to total dollar value, we have eclipsed the 500,000 user mark as far as people that are active with moments. So the growth continues. We'll see, like we said, what these most recent marketing efforts do. One thing of note, a lot of people I've seen have been talking about is the value of the base sets. There was a point in time where you could rip a pack, and if you had an all-star caliber player, even if it was a high circ base moment, it could be $30, $50, $100. And those days are no longer with us at this moment. So this continues the downtrend, though some of the other performers as far as, rarities, the MGLE cards and some of the more rare and scarce continue to hold value, and their fluctuations aren't quite as dramatic. But we talked about the marketing that's been ratcheting up. In particular, you would have seen this, NBA Top Shot making a push for new users to the platform. They're allowing people to sign up for the platform and purchase their first moment and get credited with $50 to use on NBA Top Shot. So once that occurs and that is distributed, people will be able to go to the marketplace and use that to purchase moments that likely you or I have if we happen to have stuff that's out on the marketplace. So we should see an uptick and some higher levels of activity. Now, in turn, will some of these people just be flippers and try to put those moments back on and sell? Quite possibly. What does that mean for the market going forward? I'm not sure, but obviously there's a retention rate that they think they can achieve by doing that. And so, we'll see what that means long term. In the meantime, I believe this is making use of that non-withdrawable balance that we had seen on our Dapper profile. So now we have an inclination as to the type of things that they would be using it for. That being said, there are some early metrics on what this has meant for new users and returning users, and it looks relatively light so far when I was taking a look at it as far as how many new users it drove to the platform. So it'll be interesting to see what their next level of push is. Obviously the playoffs are going to continue and there'll be more and more eyeballs on the product as we hone in towards the finals, and I'm sure these guys have more stuff up their sleeve, so we will see what that means. In addition to that, there was also a viral campaign to get the NBA Top Shot this hashtag throughout the Twitter sphere while the NBA playoffs are on television and running. So essentially, if you have a Top Shot account, you could tweet or retweet your favorite highlight from the weekend's games along with the hashtag NBA Top Shot this, submit it, and you could also be credited with some of that non-withdrawable balance to your Top Shot, or rather your Dapper account. So if you were able to do this, you could score $16 to use towards marketplace purchases. So something for the existing user base and not just for the people that are coming onto the platform as newbies. So again, there's a lot of stimulus coming in that people are going to have to spend, are going to save to use. Eventually this gets put back into the marketplace. So we should see some relief from the dollar sales volume perspective, but whether or not that sustains that activity will really be dependent on, does the playoffs generate a significant amount of increased interest, and do the new users have the retention rate that would make this worthwhile? Fortunately for these guys at Dapper, they've obviously accumulated enough capital to invest in a number of these marketing campaigns for user push. So we will see. And I'm hoping to see more of these integrated cross-platform promotional plays like they had with the FanDuel promotion the other day. So we will see what the net benefit of this is shortly, I'm sure, but I'll be looking for more opportunities in the near future. Try to see if we can score some packs or something beyond just the scope of Dapper balances for the existing user base. So speaking of it, obviously everyone has their team and their preferential, plays from the weekend, but this is an absolute monster. If you haven't seen this, I don't know what planet you're on, but this was obviously the sickest play of the weekend. Obviously, just a posterizing here. In fact, I think there was a lot of protest about the posturing afterwards, whether it should have been a tech and things of that nature, but had to give Kawhi his due and his props for that. Back to Top Shot news. We had a cool, unprecedented event, so to speak. We had a surprise Steph Curry Cool Cat drop that was given via a snapshot. The top 3,000 Cool Cat collectors in total Cool Cat volume were given this Steph Curry moment, as well as anyone who had, one, completed a challenge, and number two, had 2 Cool Cats in their possession at the time of a snapshot that happened on Wednesday, May 19th at 10:45 a.m. So this was announced after it had occurred, as a surprise to everyone, and could further incentivize people to participate in some different things in the marketplace, to be an active user, because you have opportunities at cool moments like this. And so with a mint of under 18,000, relatively limited, obviously, for a Cool Cat, but Steph Curry is obviously a cool moment to be able to grab for something that you likely had already done. So that was very cool to see. Speaking of other things that were going on, they announced this Hustle and Show Challenge 2 after the pack drop, where you could score a cool Ja Morant. You guys probably know I'm a big Ja guy, so this is a very cool moment. As of right now, if you take a look at Evaluate Market, I believe that this challenge is, it's $170. So affordable. I think at the time of its announcement, I had taken a look maybe an hour afterwards, and it was around $130. So hasn't climbed to anything crazy yet. That being said, there's still 3 days to complete it. And a lot of these Hustle and Show moments, I think, have been going in the $20 to $40 range. So, this will likely stay affordable, but there may be some slight increase in the value of these as we get nearer and nearer to the completion time. So as of right now, less than 5,000 people have completed. I would expect that to be a significant number as we near that. But this coincided with what we had seen over here, which was this huge uptick in purchases. So whether this played a role, or whether it was people wanting to also have some moments on hand and make that purchase to be able to get the credit that was announced in that promotion, these things all kind of worked in confluence to really drive transaction volume that we had seen. And then also, as we talked about, the Hustle and Show drop 2 came and went. A lot of us were lucky enough to score packs. I scored one, saved it to open with you guys as always. Unfortunately, the person I put on creating our Jobu avatar has not completed it yet. So I'm gonna have to roll the dice and open this pack sans Jobu. But that being said, hopefully he's here soon. Hey, maybe he's still with me in spirit, right? Maybe this person that was working on it was a little distracted with what was going on in the market. Lord knows I certainly was, until I was bouncing incessantly for the past 2 days. So my brain's still a little scrambled from that. We also had the base set Series 2 Release 36. And this is funny because these are starting to happen so frequently, these pre-order for the base sets, that I totally forgot how to even put myself in line for it. So when I saw I was eligible and clicked buy now, I was shocked to see that I actually could get in and score the pack. So that just goes to show you what kind of frequency this is coming out. And we alluded to before why that could likely be a good thing. There's been some talk this past week about changing the circulation size on some of these moments going forward and things of that nature. So, there's a lot of moments in Series 2. There's some more to go. We're talking playoff sets. We're talking some other stuff still coming down the pipeline. But after the playoffs, we'll be looking at Series 3. And who knows what the circulation size of those guys will be, right? So we will definitely have to see how that plays out. And then also this week, there is a pack available for brand new people to the platform that have not been able to score base pack yet. So if you were looking to get in and wanted to make sure that you get a pack, this is the way to do it. If you're not already into NBA Top Shot, you can reserve yourself one of these packs that will drop later this week, and you will be guaranteed access. I would just recommend you wait a little bit till you get into the line to actually redeem it, so that you are not standing in there for hours on end and possibly step away and miss out on your reservation like I did idiotically not long ago. So also of note, Moment Ranks has actually launched their gamification of the moments, and you can play in a variety of ways. Right now they have this playoff event going, and I'd be interested to hear when I take a look at the community comments and questions at the end, like, have you guys been running with this yet? Have you been playing? What's your experience been like? I haven't had the opportunity, just been really busy with a lot of stuff going on here at Whale, as well as bouncy houses and other things of that nature. But I do know there was some talk about the level of rarity playing a role and the point value that you get for certain things. And so whether or not that was kind of gating things and keeping it so that only top level collectors that are already in can win or not, I'm not certain. I haven't done it yet, but this is open. If people want to jump on and take a look at it, you can go to Moment Ranks and you can follow the links. And there's some head-to-head promotions. It looks like playoffs as well, and it's talking here about packs that you can win for participating. So very cool stuff. Super cool to see that we're going to have a continuation of having a way to gamify these moments and use them in a competitive kind of environment like we did with the Swish League. So that being said, that's all I got. Not a ton of news in NBA Top Shot land as far as what was really moving the needle on the Twitter sphere and on our different Discord and Telegram communities. But I do happen to have 3 packs that we can rip together right now. So I'm going to bring up the chat room so I can see all the smack talk as we do this. And it's pretty light. You guys are going easy on me thus far, so that is a good thing to see. I'm going to start with the Steph Curry, see if I can get a decent serial out of this guy. Any Joe Boos that are placed into the stream text, I will definitely appreciate it. Tigbo coming through with the Dollar Tree version of Jobu. I appreciate it, Tigbo. Okay. Not a great cereal, but not horrible either. I'll take that. That's a warm-up. Now we will go with the base set. I don't know why. I always try to save the middle one for last. Never works out for me. Maybe I need to switch it up. Serial number 8,572,463 Infinity. Great. It's another ticket for me. Although Jaren Jackson's not bad, actually. Buddy Hield. Nice player. because I don't open it up while I have the right jersey on. You might be correct, my man. I think I need to throw on my C's jersey. I'm gonna throw on my throwback Larry Bird for the next rare pack I got, or my Reggie Lewis. I would throw on my D Brown if my mother didn't just throw it in the wash machine after I explicitly told her not to. And yes, I do have my actual jerseys from back then. Instead of like buying like a throwback, I just kept them in great condition. All right, we had a bunch of tickets, boys. I was surprised that it actually showed up, that I had an opportunity to buy it. So that was a rough one. Here we go.
I don't stop until I break a sweat. Ooh, wet. I keep dripping, hit them with finesse. Ooh, wet. Every day I wake, I know I'm blessed. Ooh, wet. Pull up like I barely hit the net. Ooh, wet. I don't stop until I break a sweat. Sweat. Ooh, wet. I keep dripping, hit them with finesse. Sweat. Ooh, wet. Every day I wake, I know I'm blessed. Blessed. Ooh, wet. Pull up like I barely hit the net. Wet. Sweat. Sweat. Ooh, wet. Sweat. Sweat, ooh, wet, sweat, sweat, ooh, wet, sweat, sweat, ooh, wet, 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 ooh, wet, 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 ooh, wet, 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 ooh, wet, 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 ooh,
hey, not a bad cereal for Jimmy.
Sweat, 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 sweat. Sweat.
You know what, Esoteric? That's not a bad idea. I may need to have to put together a track for this, for pack opening. A Zion.
Trying to take it to a new tier. Evaporate, I disappear. When it get too hot around my peers. Yeah, I'm off the boards, trying to ride the wave. I'm at the port, I'm charging when I'm drained. My news feed, my breakfast for my brain. Yeah, hiding my retinas rinsed. I'm in the pool, trying to stay afloat. Driving through the lane like a boat. Buzzer beater, pressure make a go. If I hit it, it wins. I don't stop until I break a sweat. Ooh, wet. I keep dripping, hit them with finesse. Ooh, wet. Every day I wake, I know I'm blessed.
It's a nice moment.
Ooh, wet. Pull up like I barely hit the net. Ooh, wet. I don't stop until I break a sweat. Sweat. Ooh, wet.
All right, that was probably my favorite music accompaniment that they've had for any of the packs. I hadn't heard that yet, so that was pretty dope. Let me take a look at the community comments and questions, see if you guys have any things you want to talk about. Any smack that you want to talk to DC will be welcome. Let's take a look. Tough break for the Hawks. Not sure what you were referencing, Tigbo. People are saying that they're fans of the latest promotion. They like pushing out the highlights that they liked. I felt like I had to be so authentic if I was going to do it. Like, I didn't want to just retweet something from Sports Center. I wanted to like literally hold, screen capture it or hold my phone up and capture a good highlight. But I was so disgusted with the game I was watching in the second half, especially, that I lost my will to be able to perform this promotion. SO said he chose a Seth Curry moment. Tigbo says $16 will get you 8 moments now. That's true, Tigbo. People making comment, EA Sports, it's in the game. It's funny you guys mention that, because I was working on a soundboard. Because what I really wanted to do is use all the old NBA Jam, like the old, Super Nintendo ones sound that I could throw in here, whether it's, he's on fire or whatever it is. Although, I think we have to be a little bit more versatile. We're talking about fantasy football, so I may need to throw some NFL blitz, ambulance coming, people are crunching bones, things of that nature. And one thing I just have to mention is, if copyright was not an issue, which it definitely is, so we try to be cognizant of that, I would love to have the absolute most fire sports opening ever in the history of sports on television, which was the NBA on NBC. The old late 80s, early 90s intro, that song makes me want to run through a brick wall. People are talking about Bad Boys versus Jordan. Yeah, that was pretty good, although I like those Jordan versus Nick battles with Pat Ewing and Mason and those guys. That was like really, really gritty, grinded out basketball. I do see a couple of Joe Boos, so thank you guys for trying to get it going for me over here. Unfortunately, it did not work out. My packs were epic fails. Thanks, guys. I definitely recognize that, but that's why I do it. I do it for you. I take the L, and then that pack's off the table. You guys can get to the amazing EBs. SO saying he was surprised the demand for Hustle and Show wasn't more. SO, do you mean people in line in queue to grab the pack? Tigbo mentioned, did any team stand out to me this weekend? I don't know that I would say anything stood out to me because I didn't catch a ton of the games, only because it was the birthday weekend here, and of course we have to celebrate it right? Like it starts on Friday night with pizza and whatever movie the guy wants, and then I'm basically gosh, what was that movie? Richard Pryor in The Toy, right? Like whatever this kid says goes. So I was straight out from video games to bouncy houses for 2 days straight. I didn't have a lot of opportunity to watch them, but I was surprised at the Grizz really putting it together and having such a great game and coming out with the W there. I thought, they put up a good showing, but not really have a chance in that series. So the Grizzlies do surprise me. I can't say, the Suns surprised me because Book is a whole nother level as far as what he can do. Someone had asked if I am participating in the Moment Ranks fantasy leagues. I have not yet. I've just been a little bit busy, but I hope to take a look at it, in the next day or so and see if there's still something I can hop in. I know that, something was relative to the playoffs, the rounds, so I may be late for something going on. I'll have to take a look. Lang saying, wouldn't it go under fair use if I use the NBA on NBC? It's so iconic. I'd be, I think I'd have trouble with it, but we could try. We could definitely try. That's a great suggestion, Raggy, about some double dribble sound effects. I could throw that in. A couple of the sneaker noises. Tigbo says, Nytmare, I have packs next week. Let's do it. Tigbo, are you waiting for the Joe Boo icon, the avatar, the emoji? Smart move. As you can see, I went prior to the Joe Boo arriving, and this is what I got. So everyone that's still holding out for the Joe Boo, you're making the right move. And yes, I will get the squeaker sound effects ready on the soundboard. Until next time, gentlemen, this will be it for this week of Hang Time. Stay up, enjoy the games, and we will talk hoops, hype, and hopefully Joe Boo as well on our next episode. Take care.